Hey, I thought I'd give a quick update for what's going to be going on. I have not been talking on the channel very much. Nothing's gone really wrong. I have been kind of dealing with a lot. This whole year in general, I've been dealing with a lot, and the past week's been hard. My mom had to go into surgery, and she ended up being okay, but it's added a lot of stress to me. Luckily, there's going to be some good things happening that's going to both boost my morale and kind of give you guys some more interesting stuff to watch. So obviously, I've kind of just been drifting along for a while. There really hasn't been anything too interesting for the majority of the summer. I've mostly just been playing the same stuff, and I know has been kind of boring. It seems like people like watching PS2. I didn't really know that it had the reception it did. I don't know if it's just because I put out a guide for it. I don't think anyone else has, or if it's just the fact that it's a new class, or they just haven't played it for a while. But it seems like people enjoy watching it. The problem is that I'm at the end game. I had enough experience tickets to get to around level 40, I think. So I only had to grind out about 35 levels, and I did that relatively quickly. I've been playing a lot. We've been in the middle of a really nasty heat wave. Like, you feel like your skin is burning when you walk outside. So it's been perfect time to just sit inside and play as much as I've wanted to go outside. I tend to play PS2 a lot during situations like this where it's either difficult or not feasible for me to be outside. So that's why I came back to it. I am kind of running into a storage problem, so hopefully if I have some extra cash next month with all the stuff that's coming out, then I'll probably get the material storage. But right now, it's a little difficult for me to play because I'm like completely out of storage. I know that they have the material storage thing, which I think expires on the 30th. I won't have cash for that in time. But the plan is probably to get the hero to level 80 so that I can kind of gear up my other classes, because a lot of the emergency quests have rematches now, and you need to be level 80. What the stipulation is that if you play any other class but hero, you have to have both the main class and the subclass at level 80, which is a pain because I think the experience required to go from 75 to 80 is as much as it takes to get from 1 to 75. So it's a pretty ridiculous grind, and if you brute force any classes at all, then it's going to be quite an ordeal to like get them to 80. So when you play as hero, since you can't subclass at all, what it does is it just lets you join as long as you're at the corresponding level. So say if you want to get it extra hard, you have to be level 70. Normally, or rather, if you wanted to do one of the emergency quests on extra hard, you had to be 75 and 75 on both classes. But if you're hero, you just have to be 75 on one, since you can't subclass in the first place. So that's kind of the plan. I'm probably going to be doing that. I know that the limited quests, they expire on the 9th, so I would like to get there by then. I'm kind of in the point where I need to get the NT weapon to plus 35, which is easier said than done, especially if I'm broke in real life and in that game too right now. None of the stuff in my shop has been selling, so I'm kind of like at a roadblock right now. It's like a brick wall. I can't really do too much, but I'm going to continue playing it. What's going to be happening on Tuesday is Aztez is going to be coming out. I've been following that game for years. I actually just went on their site for the first time last night, and they have like a lot of really cool stuff. They even show like some of the attacks and where the dash cancel frames are and stuff. They have a lot of combat analyses on bigger action games. I think it's going to be really fun. I saw some kind of concerning stuff on the forum for it about some kind of imbalance with some of the enemies, but I'm sure that we'll get there when it gets to that point. It's kind of a shame that I didn't get to the beta. However, the beta has an embargo, so I could not have really shared anything before release anyway. I would not have been able to give any kind of early impressions or anything like that, like I do with the early access stuff. So that's going to be happening on Tuesday. Also, the initial has gotten I think anywhere from 3 to 5 patches since I refunded it. Apparently, it's a lot smoother now. They also apparently addressed the performance. So I'm going to go ahead and try that out again. It's only like a $9 game, so I'll be playing that. I was looking at Super Cloud Built as well. That's probably the indie stuff that I'm going to be covering for August. I'm sure you know Rousseau Stars is coming out on the 29th. Unfortunately, I can already tell you right now, I'm likely not going to have money for that, and the issue with it is even if I did, we don't know if it's a good port or not. I know that their last couple ports have been of questionable quality. Some people have had problems running them on like beast computers. I obviously do not have a beast computer. I have like something slightly above average. My specs aren't that great. So we'll see what happens there. I might try to raise some funds for it. I know that's the game that people want to see more than the indie stuff, but there's just too many roadblocks in the way. Most of it is just how much it costs. It's Koei games tend to be pretty expensive. It's going to be at least $50, and that's way out of my budget right now, especially with my benefits being cut. I haven't really been getting too much ad revenue either. The channel has kind of been in a slump, and I'm looking to use the end of the summer and early fall to kind of break out of that. I know that we've had just a lot of dry periods on the channel, and I wanted to apologize for that. I have been going through a lot behind the scenes too. I hope that August and September should be pretty fun. I would push Rousseau Stars to September, but the problem is that Ys 8 is coming out in the same month. There's no way that I could possibly afford both, unless I find a crazy deal or I get some help from somebody I know or one of you guys or whatever. So September is when I'm going to be doing big name stuff. I should be doing Ys. Marvel has already been paid for. It's just the issue is that my capture card is still blue screening my PC, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do anything with that. Ys 8 is obviously coming out on PC, and the Falcom ports are all pretty rock solid. They're all, in most cases, pretty much better than any console versions. Like Oath and Felghana, the only console version of that I believe was PSP, and that ran at 30 FPS. Obviously, the PC version runs at 60, or I think you could even uncap the frame rate. You can run it at HD and stuff. So that's probably the next thing I'll be doing for sure. Marvel Infinite is really dependent on how much I could get the capture card working. I had my friend come over, the person who gave it to me. I haven't even paid him for it yet. I was going to pay him for it this month or next month, but it's still crashing my computer. I've been really concerned about that, so I don't really know what's going to happen in September. I will be doing Ys 8 probably for sure. Marvel is not really something I was going to be doing as a main game anyway. I've been so out of the FGC for so long now, I don't really think I could make any meaningful content. But at the same time, I think it would be fun. I had some friends kind of coax me into getting it with some Amazon credit because they know that I used to be pretty good at fighting games. I never really competed at a professional level or anything, but in our local scene, I was pretty decent. And they wanted me to come back, so I went ahead and got it. Especially with all the tag combo action games I play, I think I might do a little better than I think. So that's what's going on. I'm sorry if I can't do Rousseau Stars. I'm going to go ahead and put my links in the description. What's going to happen is if I do get funding for it, either from you guys or a friend, or I manage to allocate the funds from elsewhere, from my regular budget, I'm probably going to wait for a testimonial. I'm not going to do a port review for it. I don't even want to bother with a refund because the Koei ports, I know that there's been parts where just like certain levels just like spike, the performance spikes and it has big hitches and stuff. I don't even want to deal with that. I don't want to give a good first impression for it and then find out 5 hours in it starts crashing. When you only have 2 hours to really determine if a game is a good port or not, sometimes that's not enough time, especially nowadays. I know a lot of the the big games and stuff, sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can tell in the first few minutes, sometimes you can't. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stuff in the description. What'll happen is I'll probably wait for some guinea pigs, so to speak, to talk about it, and if I have the funds, then I'll go ahead and buy it, and then I'll give my own proof as well. Anyway, that's what's going on. August should be pretty exciting. I think Aztez is going to be really awesome. I'm pretty excited to play it. There's also a Red Obsidian Remnant update, which I haven't even gotten to yet. I know not too many people have been interested in that, which is why I haven't put it out the same day like I normally have. Super Cloud built, and the initial might be fun as well. So lots of new stuff coming in August that's going to be a lot easier on my budget. Rousseau Stars is going to depend on a number of factors, whether it's a good port and whether I can afford it. And then September is going to be Ys and Marvel if things work out. Anyway, catch you guys later. Peace.